Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to get started in just a minute or two. Hope everybody's having a great February. Everybody's staying warm. Hopefully, watching the Olympics. It's been watch some of it. It's pretty good stuff. Became a skeleton fan. If anybody hasn't had a chance to see that, pretty cool. Um, to go down on a sled at 80 miles per hour. I can never do it myself, but it's pretty cool. And also, while folks join in, we got some great articles about Olympic boycott cases and disputes, which are essentially reimagined with AI. So pretty cool articles. If you want to check out our LinkedIn or reach out to us, happy to send those over to you. So definitely some great articles to go with the Olympic theme. So maybe we'll do a skeleton event in the future. Definitely could not do that. That is that would be very dangerous. Too dangerous. So perfect. Go ahead and get started in a minute or so. Thanks for the emoji laughs. Appreciate it. So wait one more minute. I guess also, it's Valentine's Day. We had a pretty funny post on sentiment analysis, which made it out, did like a little cartoon on it. So that's out there. We've got some related to aiR, Bridgerton aiR for review best practices too. So wrote it in a Bridgerton theme. So if you saw, was it, I think season 4 part 1, and I think we planned this literally a week before, so people would join and would be trying to finish the second half of the release. So perfect. All right, cool. I see a lot of people jumped in, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So first, wanted to thank you all. Obviously, the topic for Quick Bites today is going to be aiR for key strategy. And if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat, and you can write them individually as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So first up, slide up here. What is aiR for key strategy? Essentially, what we're doing is we're extracting essential facts from documents, authoring and editing memos, so like witness summaries, deposition outlines, and we're building timelines. So just a few things they're doing: the fact generation, which allows you to focus on the higher value legal work; the witness summary to gain early insights; the deposition outlines to generate some questions for depositions; and the transcript summaries just to give you insights in minutes instead of hours. Obviously, those can be pretty voluminous. So first up, how do you access this? It's a feature, an application that we can install. Spoiler alert for later this week. We are tomorrow. We're going to be releasing our 2026 templates, and the aiR tools are going to be built in and available to admin level individuals. So not everyone. So installing the application, you're going to get a new tab, aiR for Case Strategy tab, and there's going to be a sub-tab called Case Home. It's going to unlock some features for you for the fact creation, deposition outline, witness summary, transcript summary, and fact navigation, which we're going to all touch on all of them today. So Case Home, like I said, it's a tab. It's essentially your home location for doing all of those various items. And so I'm not going to repeat the list again, but you also have some inline editing features. So if you have a deposition outline or witness summary, you can edit that information on the screen. You can actually preview some of the documents that are associated to it as well. So you can kind of do everything in that one location without having to navigate back to another screen or back and forth or creating safe searches. So definitely can do that. And then just a bonus tip, you can build dashboards to filter down on key elements or key data that you're interested in. So creating a fact chronology, just wanted to, how do you get from I have documents into relativity to I have facts through aiR for case strategy. So you have a safe search of documents, and then you have your inputs, and your inputs are going to be in the bottom left there. What are you trying to prove? little information about matter overview, issues, people aliases, noteworthy organizations, additional context, and document summary instructions. And so you submit this to aiR. It's going to take a look at the extracted text of your documents. Very critical there. It's not looking at additional metadata that Relativity is extracted out. And you're going to get some key elements such as the date. You're going to get the fact information, the description, issues, entities, all from information you supplied. A document summary. It's going to link the document, provide a citation. So that citation helps ground the fact and that it's actually looking for particular text within that document. It's giving you a score between 1 to 4, 4 being it's more interesting fact or item that you're looking for. Gives you an argument of why that fact score could potentially be wrong and inaccurate, or just something that you didn't consider when you were creating the information. And then there's also a helpful, harmful, and neutral. So you can see your inputs here. Essentially, you're providing a name, a safe search. You have, if you've used this before, you have existing prompt criteria to work off of. And then you want to fill in the information. Relativity, when designing this, had a few items in mind, right? How do I help the individual craft some of this information? And thankfully, they put in this kind of like blank information or information that you can just type right over, but you can get an idea of what each box is looking for. And then the output, what does it look like? Essentially, if you've seen Relativity before, outside of the kind of cards that you have on the left there, very familiar screen that you see for the fact generation from the prompt and all the other fields that we just touched on. We're going to walk through it, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip to the next slide real fast. But just want to note, you have all of these facts, right? And if you're building this today, or before, let's say before generative AI exists, essentially what you're going to do is you're reading the document, you're making your notes, you're doing this. May have been using a previous relativity tool, Keys Dynamics. Maybe you're using other outside tools. Maybe you're using a Word document or Excel. Anyway, somebody is reading the documents and doing this by hand. What this does is it takes away that piece, and so essentially you can just kind of verify the information rather than having to sit there and type it out. And so really, when you have all these facts, every case has a story. And so, without that structure of having that information, you just have fragments, and that fragments could be thousands of documents, millions of documents, tens of millions of documents, or more. And so the visual timeline is where those fragments can become some kind of narrative for you. And so it shows the build up, or maybe like the turning point of, somebody asking you, hey, what happened? To, you can confidently say, hey, here's exactly how it unfolded. Let's walk through the steps of how it got exactly where it is. And so we'll touch on the demonstration on that too as we get there in a moment. So some of the other items as well, and I'll jump through this a little faster than the previous slides. Creating a witness summary. So you're going to, once again, select the facts, some of the inputs, and the inputs we'll show in a second, and you're going to get some of the output that you're going to see over there on the right. And so to do that, you're going to take some of the similar information where you're on the fact screen. You're going to filter to the entity, right? If you have a witness summary, you need to pick a witness. So step one is to filter on that. So we've got some Ted Lasso data here. So we filtered on Rupert. We selected our facts. So Relativity has, you can check them, or you can select all the facts, and then that unlocks that create a witness, create a deposition outline. And so you can see kind of same type of boxes to fill in with the example information that you have. And then you're going to see essentially a draft summary. Basically going to talk about a few different things that you have: witness background, their involvement, the summary, kind of the entities that you have, the legal issues, and some of the fact outline information with hyperlinks that are associated. When you click on those hyperlinks, you're going to see that actual document over there on the right as well. And so creating a deposition outline, it's going to be very similar inputs, so very, very familiar slide is what it appears, but you have a few different additional items that you're going to see from inputs, the purpose of the deposition, and then what are you trying to prove? Those are going to kind of be the two variations that you see off of different from the other screens. And so same here, you're going to have legal issues. You're going to have the line of inquiries with the links to the document. So you can have the most important documents, key info, and facts that you have available there. So you can see some of the additional pieces. Next up, and this kind of touched on this a little earlier, is the fact navigator. And so this is really where that visual diagram comes into play. So you can get your case insights factor, case insight faster. Focus on what truly drives the case. Defensible document pack, and you got that citations, which link back. Better alignment between teams, and really focus on the strategy of the case rather than trying to figure out exactly what happened. And just some insights and some filters that you have. So a little bit more information here. On the left, you have the ability to filter through different pieces of information. In the kind of top middle here, you're going to have the actual facts itself with like the date and the time associated. You'll also see that same fact that's highlighted here. You see it highlighted on various screens. So you can see the summary of that. You can also search. So if you want to text search the information of the fact, you can do that. It'll filter down to that data set. And then over here on the right, you're going to have your fact, your card information. And this is going to just give you all the information you saw kind of in that grid view, which we're showing. And we'll touch on this in just a little bit as well. And then the last piece is the transcript summary. So essentially, you can import transcripts. So we're talking MDB, the database file, video exhibits, and essentially aiR is going to provide some feedback for that. And so you can kind of see that feedback over on the left. You can see the video that we have in the middle and the transcript that's synced over on the right. And so the text will actually highlight. There's some things you can do as well. Add a designation, hot or warm. You also can add comments. So think of it like a track changes type of thing, or link exhibits and facts to it as well. And so same type of information from the output. You have the deposition overview, and so just gives you some key information. So once again, instead of having to, I think the recent one I had was like 338 pages. Even if you're a really fast reader, well, I don't know how much a really fast reader is, but let's just say it's in 30 minutes or an hour. Somebody can time check me on what an average and high speed reader would get through that fast. But you take that, right, and you're going down to minutes. It's providing you the summary information and the key takeaways, and also providing you the timestamps, right? So you can actually go watch the video and look at this, and then this is something that you can edit and modify as you go. So definitely pretty cool. So a few common questions that we get working with this. We've had, it's been generally released, I think, for about a little less than a month. We've had access to this for definitely over a year, but I don't know the exact date. And so, a few questions that we ask, and these are things that are today, right? Relativity could change these things tomorrow, not tomorrow, but in a month or so. So the field information is saved, so you always have that existing reference, so you can pre-fill some of that information, change the information, tweak it for certain individuals. You have document inputs, so up to 5,000 documents, but under 0.05 to 600 kilobytes of text, which is a pretty good chunk of text. It'll extract up to 9 facts per document. There can be duplicative facts, and so there is a way to essentially auto tag whether it's a duplicate or not. So it is something to come into play, because if you're running multiple variations against many different documents, right, you could have duplicative facts. So something that the system takes into consideration. So only today extracted text is being taken into consideration. So if there's an image, there's other metadata. As far as today is concerned, that is not taken into consideration. And then, security questions, right? It's not learning, it's not training off of your data. It's not storing it. The information goes out, the results come back, the information is wiped. So just quick information there. Can definitely provide more detail if you're interested, and some security documentation on that. And then when do I get charged? So there is a fee for this. There is feel free to reach out to myself or whoever from the team to discuss that. But it does come with a preset number of documents and some video transcript storage as well. So um, that is the slide deck here. And so I want to very quickly jump in here. There we go. Out of here. Going to do a quick demo. So here is our aiR for case strategy. Here's our case home, and we're already here. We can see the filter information. So for this, we have some Ted Lasso data, obviously, for people that can see behind me or know me. I'm a big fan of the show. So looking forward to season 4. You can see some of the filter for the prompt criteria. So I ran multiple iterations in this. So I have 50 facts associated down here at the bottom. Just pick the dates. I've got some the descriptions, the issues, the entities that are associated. And so you can see all that information here. And to create those facts, right, you're just going to click on that information. And this is where we have all of the information that we have. And then we can pick multiple variations. So you can see ran this for many different variations, from deposition outlines to witness summaries, just to general information. So you can see we've got a bunch of information from there. And wanted to jump in and just show the fact navigator real fast, because I think this is kind of just one of the coolest new features that are available. So up top here, you have our facts, and we also have our issues. So if I wanted to look at it by issue, I could go ahead and look at the information that we have there. And so just the filters. So for some of the filters, I just have it set to a particular data set. But one of the things I can do after filtering that, I can read through, from the beginning to the last fact that we have filtered on. And I can go ahead and move this, zoom in and zoom out. So if that's something you want to do, you certainly can do. And then when you click on one of the key facts, and so we'll click on this one over here, you're essentially going to see the quick summary of the fact, the description, some of the citations from the document. You're going to see those issues and those entities with hyperlinks. You're going to see the other associated facts, and you're going to see the documents as well. So if I click on the link to the document, it's actually going to pull up the native. It's going to show me those citations within the document. So definitely some great information that you have there, and you're available to search on. So also highlighting associated. So if you have highlighting, that, and it keeps your breadcrumb trail up top here. So if I want to go back and kind of look at exactly where I was, certainly go ahead and do that. Click on many of the other facts. You can also see the kind of the initials of those certain entities. So we've got Rebecca Welton. We have EA is, but whoever EA is, and RM. So we've got all those individuals that are available. Oh, Edwin, here we go. Helps if I'm on the right document. Rupert Mannion, so you can see their names. That way you can kind of see who's involved in that fact. Just a great visual cue. There's definitely going to be more pieces that are coming to this. And so a few other items of note. Let's jump into our case documents, and we're going to show our witness summary and our deposition outlines as well. So for our witness summaries, if we want to go ahead and click on the ones that we've generated, recently did one for Leslie Higgins. So if you've seen Ted Lasso, he's kind of like it's like the general manager of the soccer team. So we can read this, so we can just quickly maximize this. It's going to give you the name, company. He's the director of football operations. Close. Work history. It's going to give you the hyperlinks to the documents associated too. And so if I want to go ahead and click on that, it's going to pop up that native for that document. So just able to get some good insight into looking at that. Going to give you that involvement, the matter information that you have down here. Legal issues that we kind of supplied up front, and it's going to break down, helpful information that you have available in like a facts outline. So you'll see kind of that information that's available here as we scroll down. And so this is something that you can edit, modify. You can download this, and so you have you have the ability to go ahead and do that. And so for our deposition outline, we decided to pick Rupert Mannion. And so information here, you're going to have our legal issues. So it's going to basically have a quick listing the legal description. It's also going to have some questions, essentially, where you could potentially pose some questions to them with the hyperlinks to the documents. And continue down here to our documents and exhibit information that you have as well. And so, you know, different kind of thoughts and considerations you can take in as you're reading this. And then same thing, you can edit, modify this, you can download this, and this is an interactive document. So it's not just accessible to one person. Anybody that's access to the case home will see these documents, can edit, modify it, can work on it together. So pretty great information there. And then lastly, our transcript summary. Same concept, modify, edit, tweak the information that you have there. And so just wanted to go ahead and note that. So perfect. All right, cool. I gonna switch back to the PowerPoint deck, get to the final slide. Happy to answer lots of other questions that folks have. So let me do that. And just want to also note, I hate this slide, to be perfectly honest with you. It's also a very old picture of me, if you can't tell. But want to quickly note, page 1 turned 20 this week, so just want to give a quick kudos to the company and to Rip for starting page 1 20 years ago. So quite the feat. Not a lot of businesses make it to 20 years. So that's definitely something that's great. A few other items as well. And I see some questions coming in, so I'm going to touch on those now. That's actually perfect. So first question I see is basically, how do you get the transcript into Relativity? Phenomenal question. First up, so you need to make sure that you have essentially the MDB's access database file. You have the video, you have any linked materials, it's in the zip file, and essentially that information can be brought in through the import export screen. It's was it the raw unprocessed data? So if you've imported a PST, you've almost made it there. You click on the first icon on the left, the raw unprocessed data, and it says end MDB. Click on that, and then you have the raw data, or you have the MDB. Click on the one on the right instead of the one on the left, and then you can put in the individual's name, and then upload it from there. And then when you reference the transcript, Relativity has a transcript. Since you're putting it in that way, it knows it's a transcript. So when you have the transcript, you can select the document, and so it'll analyze the information. So some great information there that you have available. So and perfect. And so next question I see.
Yeah, we have two in the Q&A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got him. Yeah, no,
Okay, cool.
totally cool. Yeah, that's a great question. So first tip, yeah, best practice to get started if you have millions. Yeah, I mean, a few different ways I'd consider going about doing it. You can focus on one custodian, one individual. You could focus on a kind of like a date range, or maybe leverage some search terms. Or of course, if you're using aiR for review, you can define like the relevant universe to kind of whittle that down. Other common things: email threading. Why run it against the full population when you can run the full conversations? Let's see what else. Obviously, deduplication, which I hope everybody's doing by default. So yeah. So kind of all of those things in conjunction. So I'll follow up with you. I have a few other thoughts and ideas, but I don't want to put them on the recording. But but I would consider one or many of those things to come into play. I mean, definitely with aiR for review, can whittle down the data set pretty dramatically, on top of all of those other things as well. And so, if you can whittle down to a smaller data set, Maybe you could also use clustering to grab various concepts in conjunction with a few other things, the communication analysis. Depending upon what you're looking for, maybe even the sentiment analysis. So I feel like I just said every single relativity tool that's built in. Um, but you could definitely kind of layer them depending upon what the case is, what you're looking for, what the topics are that you're interested in. Uh, there's obviously pros and cons of doing different things in different orders. Date range versus email threading. You just want to make sure you run that in the correct order. If you're doing multiple things, search terms. So uh, perfect. Uh, perfect. All right. And then secondarily, cost. Yeah. So great question. It is a separate um, it is a separate cost. I would reach out to someone here at Page One. It is different than Air for Review and Air for Privilege, but I just uh, uh, yeah, there's lots of things to take into consideration for that. So um, also don't want that on the recording. So um, perfect, awesome. No, I appreciate the questions. Uh, for the additional question, I'll I'll reach out to you individually if you want to talk through that. uh, on kind of how to whittle down that universe. I think that's perfect. And then just a note, we try to do this every month, and so our next month is going to be um, basically healthcare investigations. It's going to be conducted by Robert Freed, who is our executive vice president and uh, chief investigative officer. So he's going to be running through that. And then April is going to be cost recovery and client bill back. And so um, looking forward looking forward to those. And as always, if you have any thoughts and other things to take into consideration, we're more than happy to entertain those and add those in the coming months. So thank you all for your time. Really appreciate it. And we will connect with you all soon.